The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hey. Gun.
To throw on second down is Newton. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, this is Geis. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey.
Here's Newton. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks, another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run on our way back to the quarterback, and that philosophy works for them very well.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll look to throw here. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
We got three, fellas. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
A give. This is Cook. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Do something. Hey.
Out of the gun, Newton. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
Here we go. Do something.
Newton on 1st down. Pass incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
2nd and 10, Newton again. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, here's Newton. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very solid gain of 27. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Leopard!
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, Cook. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Newton to throw. He sets to fire. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But
he can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Geis receives the pitch. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Pushing his way through. Complete. Richardson has it. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the handoff, it's Geis. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll hand it down to Geis. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a run with Geis. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room and we clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On the ground, Geis. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Geis alone in the backfield here. 2nd and goal. Here's Newton. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Just beating the play clock is Newton. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third down and 12. Back to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Gun! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Gun!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. 20, 10, 5. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton, that one complete. He finds Shark. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
3rd and 2, Newton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Geis. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Newton. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Bucky Hodges, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, as one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Here we go, fellas.
On 1st down, Newton. Flush to his right. Pushing his way inside the 40. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Cam Newton with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They start the drive with Cook. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
No. Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
He'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. To throw on second down is Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On third down, Newton dumps it off for Geis. And just shedding him off there. And give him a gain of 37.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hey.
Throwing again is Newton. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. They go play action here on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
From the 50, Newton. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Newton. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Stephen Weatherly in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Newton now to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Now it's Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. Fights off the defender. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive a coach crazy.
And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Let's rock now.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try the air now with Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Redskins on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Now Newton. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. And that one all Packers right now. They've scored again. If they hold on, it would be win number 10 for them on the year. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Rolling to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gone! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Monte Nicholson picks it. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They start on the ground with Geis. He finds an opening past the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Let's go.
This is Geis on a handoff left. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They snap it to Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Newton's going to throw it. Shakes off the sack. Looking deep downfield. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. That's heavy, Charles. You play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.